What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the FansToys FT-16T Sovereign, their version of a toy Galvatron. So I got this from Toy Dojo. Thanks to them for sending this out for review. Thanks. Yes. Let's get this tape cut. Now this is interesting. They don't even have a FansToys tape on there. Just a regular piece of tape. Not what I'm used to, but it's okay. Let's see if they have the FansToys on the inside. Maybe they've stopped using it. Now, I do have the original Sovereign, so we will bring that in a little bit later to see how it compares in terms of the look. For now, let's see what we get in the box. I'm guessing it's going to be very similar to the original, but let's find out. Alright, so it does say FT-16 here on the front. You get the collector's card and the book. We'll take a look at that. So let's get this open. Unfortunately, no more FansToys tape. So maybe they did away with that. Maybe it's just a cost savings. I don't really know. But it appears they're not doing the tape anymore. So now when we got Outrider, we didn't have the tape or any markings at all for FansToys. This one at least has markings. So I'm not sure why they've done away with the tape, but they have. So here we have the stand. I just opened the wrong end first, but you got the display stand, which is the same as the one we got with the original Sovereign. Put this over. Now that stand, just in case you didn't know, it also works with the FansToys Phoenix, their version of Jetfire. So it's a multi-purpose stand if you don't want to use it with this guy. So pretty cool. Let's see, we got the translucent version of the blaster, or the cannon. We got the painted version. Got a little bit of styrofoam, but there you go for that. You got this thing, which it's never been good. It's always been too heavy to actually use because it weighs down his arm. Now, if you take it apart, you can use it, but they gave you this again, so we're going to have to look at that. And finally, here is our boy, Sovereign, in the toy colors. So let's take a look at him. Looks like right out of the package, you do have to remove this. So lift up on these feet, and then we can remove this paper cover. It's just to protect it, and then flip these around and then unpeg the legs from each other. Alright, so it does need quite a few other adjustments here, so let's first come to the back here. So you can see these are loose. These are going to tab in. A little slot right there, tab right there. So bring this down, line that up, and just get that pegged in, and make sure this backpack is all the way down. Same on this side, get that pegged in. It all kind of hold together, so it should look something like that. For the arms, you're going to open this up, pull down this panel here all the way, so it goes, 180 degrees. The arms are actually mistransformed. You're going to rotate the wrist so that this comes to the front, so it kind of lines up, shape-wise, and then rotate the hand back the other way. We can fold these fingers in to make a fist, since we don't want him doing this. Alright, so once you do that, you can fold this back down. It will fit. The armature will fit inside that hole. So you kind of need to do that for that to fit. Alright, same on this side, and there you have Sovereign ready to go. So let's take a look at all the accessories you get. So, of course, first of all, let's get the cannon on there. So you do get the two options here. I'm going to go with the translucent one because it just makes sense for the toy, but you can use this painted one. You got both of these with the original, except this part was not painted purple. We'll show the original later, but go ahead and open up this panel and this panel. That'll allow you to flip this around 180 degrees and then close this back up. Close that back up. There's a tab right there. That's going to fit into the side of the arm. It does like to pop out of here. That's always kind of been his nature. If you really give it a firm shove, it will go in there. But just to show you the options, since we have both Might as well get that tabbed in. And here it is with the painted one. Now they both have a little tough time going in, but once you get it in there, it's pretty firm. Me personally, I prefer the translucent one for this toy look. All right, you also get this blast effect here. I don't really love it because it's just too heavy. So if you put this in here, it droops down, it makes them fall. It's not very good. You can sort of make it work if you disassemble this and take this off and, you know, really slim it down to just this. That's a little bit lighter. So he might be able to hold that. Yeah, okay. He can hold that. He's still kind of forward heavy, top heavy. I've never liked this blast effect. Now, I did get new blast effects from, let's just take that out of there. It's annoying. I did get a new blast effect from New Supply. So he sculpted it. It comes in purple or red. It has a little adapter. You stick it on there. It's much better than this purple one. So I do recommend that if you're looking for a blast effect. But I'm going to get this out of here because I don't love it. You also get the Matrix. So this is the same as the original. It's a nice heavy die cast with the yellow chrome here and then the blue jewel. And just for comparison, here's the original. It is exactly the same. You can put this around his neck or have him holding it or whatever you want to do. It's a little display piece that you can have, whatever you want. All right, you also get an alternate face here. Now this was in a little plastic baggie. Forgot to show it as I was unboxing, but that should be in your box as well. And it is in this matte gray paint, the same as his face and the knees here. Never mind. So you do have to take it off because the forehead is behind the helmet. So basically just come to the back here, remove this screw. Let's show you that off camera. All right, and there it is with that alternate yelling face. They always do really good face sculpts. But yeah, no different here. That does look nice. So you have those two options. So now let's go over his articulation, and I'll also point out the paint. So this is not 100% painted like the original. The bottom here, these calf pieces and shin pieces are a whitish plastic. These hip skirts are also white with the exception to the red here on the end. And then these tracks here are unpainted white plastic. And then this piece right here is unpainted plastic, but you do have a little bit of red right there. With the exception of those pieces, everything is painted on here. So the purple, the whitish gray, the metallic red, the metallic yellow. These vac metal pieces here that look like die cast, that's really cool. More vac metal here for the knees. And then the metallic black for the shoes. All that looks really, really good. Articulation wise, it is the same, but let's go over that. The head is on a rotating swivel, so it goes up to there, down to there, and rotates all the way around. Beautiful head sculpt. The shoulders rotate around. As you're messing with these can pop out, so just hold these here. Rotate all the way around. It doesn't pop out if you do that. It's on a ratchet. It goes up to here, and sometimes that's what I meant. That kind of pops out, because as you're going down, you're pulling down on this. So you would just hold there on these ab pieces. You have a rotation at the bicep. You also have a rotation on this piece, which is for transformation, but I really like that because if you're trying to pose this cannon arm and you want it on top, so let's say I rotate at the bicep, I end up with this tank tread on the top. So I want it on the side so you can rotate it, and you can lock this in here. And then you end up with something like that. So I like that they did that so you can really get it looking right or however you want it. You can actually hide the tank tread if you get it in a certain pose. So that's a good little bit of transformation or articulation. Get a double jointed elbow here, mainly for transformation, but you have in and out movement here on the wrist, which is mainly also for transformation. I think I mentioned the rotation at the bicep. You will have a rotation at the wrist. Individually take the fingers on 1, 2, 3 pins, and then the thumb is on a ball joint and a pin for itself. Typical FansToys hands. You have a waist rotation. It is ratcheted. It does get hindered by this. If you were to move this out of the way, you could rotate it all the way, but that's plenty for me anyways. The hip skirts will move up and out of the way. They are a little bit tight at first, so I mean you just got to get them kind of loosened up, but the paint really is tight in there. So just get that up. Legs will rotate up to there. A little bit hindered by the sculpt, but you can get up to there, back to there, out to the side on friction. Nice tight joints. Rotation at the thigh. You have a double jointed knee with a knee pad that is independent. So you can bend that joint, and then you can bend the inside joint. The inside is very tight. So that one tends to be the one you have to kind of put a little bit of extra energy into. But double jointed knee and this knee pad, so you can get it in a position that makes sense for the pose. So I really like that. Beautiful looking. Continuing down, you have a toe tilt up and down and to the side, ankle tilt out to the side, forward, and not really much up, but plenty of articulation on those ankles. And for size comparison, there it is next to MP44 Optimus Prime and MP36 Megatron, of course, the character that was turned into Unicron, by Unicron into Galvatron. Looks really good, scales perfectly, same size as MP36 and a little bit shorter than MP44, but really fits in nicely with Masterpiece scale. And for comparison, I think a lot of people want to see, here it is next to the Sovereign M version, which is the movie version. It was like a kind of more darker metallic. Looks really good. The kind of swapped colors here, the shoulders and biceps are the same paint, but everything else is flipped. So everything that was purple here is now this grayish white, and then the silver here on the thighs is now purple. The knee pads, instead of being purple, are white, but it's got a little detail, which really looks cool. I love that they added that. Of course, the cannon, you get the same options for the cannon itself, translucent or this, but the back end is purple instead of the gray. So they basically swapped colors here. I really love the way this looks. It's really cool. All right, now let's get him transformed into his cannon mode. Now, FansToys did a phenomenal job on their transformation video. I don't think I can top it. It's really, really well done. So I will link that video here, either here or at the end. But because they've done such a good job, I'm not going to show transformation. I'm just going to get him transformed off camera to his cannon mode, and we'll be right back. And there we have Sovereignty in his cannon mode. Really quite good looking. All those little red bits show up nicely here, all painted. I do like the way it sits kind of upright so that the cannon is actually shooting upwards. Some of these Masterpiece ones, I think it was DX9, would sit actually flat. So you'd have to kind of mess with it to get it on this angle. It does have wheels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a big wheel back here. It will roll on those wheels relatively smoothly. It's a pretty heavy figure, so it does roll. It doesn't light up or anything, but you do have that translucent cannon. If you prefer, you can switch it to the painted cannon. I prefer the translucent for the toy version. All in all, pretty nice looking. You can attach the blast effect here. It seems to work a little bit better in this mode because it's, you know, not relying on the arm or ratchet, but it still droops down, and it's this plastic. It really sucks. I mean, this is not a good blast effect. And again, if you reduce it down to this, it works a lot better, but still not my favorite blast effect. And for quick size comparison, there it is next to the Transform Element Optimus Prime. Yes, it is a gigantic cannon. I mean, it always was big in the cartoon anyways, but really quite big here in its cannon mode. And for the comparison that people want to see, there it is next to the FT-16M. So again, reversed colors really, other than this red here versus the black. I do like this detail. I do wish they painted the bottom like they did on the original on the treads. I don't know if that was a mistake or they just purposely really wanted it to be gray, but that's kind of lacking for me. But other than that, man, this thing looks gorgeous next to the original. I'm definitely planning to have this displayed in this mode, but either way, there you go for comparison. Final thoughts on the FansToys Sovereignty toy version. Let's start with the positives. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the colors they chose here, kind of reverse colors from the movie version. All the accessories really look good and work, with exception to this dumb blast effect that never worked and still doesn't work. Everything else was great. The Matrix, the alternate gun, the alternate face, which I have on him. The flight stand you see here, he's actually on the flight stand. All that works well and looks nice and works well with the figure. I also think the articulation and the overall posability and sculpt of this guy is amazing. It is the same. I did confirm. I transformed both of these guys. They have not changed anything. There's no running mold changes or anything like that. So they are the same. So, but it was good to begin with. So I give them credit for that. Negatives wise, the transformation is not very fun. Now, thankfully, FansToys put out that really good transformation video that really helped me get it transformed pretty quickly and actually transform both of them. So very good job on their part, but it's still not that fun. There's a lot of little flips and panels and stuff, and it takes a little work. But also negatives wise is the fitment of this gun. At first, doesn't really want to go in there. You kind of had to work it in because of the paint. There's a lot of extra paint on here. Once you get it in, it's pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. That's not popping out. But getting it in there to begin with, initially out of box, it does want to pop out of there. That's really it for negatives. I really like this thing. Highly recommend it, especially if you're a toy version fan, if you're a collector of the toy versions. I do have the Quietus, the Cyclonus version, toy version. I am probably going to get the FansToys Thomas, the Astro Train toy version. I do really like the way they're looking so far. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.